Hello, beautiful beings. Meredith from Mystic Pathways with another Helping Hand Oracle reading to help us hold our own space no matter what's going on in the world, in the environment, in our community, in ourselves. Spirit's way of saying, try this, do that. This will help. Let's dive straight in. We ask the tarot what needs articulating, what thoughts need celebrating, or what thoughts need challenging. And there is one. I'll just turn those back round. Give them a little bit of a smudge. Spirit, please and thank you. What needs articulating? Queen of Wands. Beautiful, strong energy, the Queen of Wands. Generosity, warmth, open-hearted. Start of a new phase and passionate. Have you got some creative ideas going on in that mind of yours? Celebrate them. Bring them to the light of day. Be generous. Be open-hearted. Be that fire, that spark. Not out of control, but that burns brightly, that inspires others. Keep doing that. Thank you, Spirit. I like that for our thoughts. Queen of Wands, what else can she represent? She can represent that you're feeling positive, you're feeling independent, you're feeling strong, courageous. If not, they're the qualities you need to embody. Any thoughts that are not that way inclined, you need to challenge them and you need to think this way. You need to be independent, positive, strong. It's time to channel your creative energy into a work or a project or something other that inspires you. Hallelujah. Love that creative, fiery force energy. Thank you, Spirit. This is the Animal Medicine deck. And we ask what needs to be acknowledged. What is at the heart of the matter? Or what's deep in our hearts that we need to acknowledge, please, Spirit. Lizard, number 36. I don't think I've pulled this one before, so let's have a look and see what lizard is. I know lizard is old. It's old energy because it's been around a long time, lizards. And the key word for lizard is dreaming. Oh, that goes with the Queen of Wands, kind of. If lizard dreamed a space in your cards today, it may be time to look and see what is following along behind you. Is it your fears, your future trying to catch up to you, or is it part of you that wants to ignore your weaknesses and humanness? Lizard may be telling you to pay attention to your dreams and their symbols. Make a dream log and record all that you remember. Be sure to pay attention to each individual symbol or recurring pattern. If you do not remember your dreams, which I very rarely do, you could try setting a music alarm for 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. Or you could try drinking a lot of water before bedtime and allow your bladder to wake you up. Dreams are very important. Pay attention to them. That's so funny. So lizard is the medicine of the dreamers, and this is asking us to remember our dreams. And I also encourage you at those times of when you are falling asleep and those times when you're waking up out of sleep are really, really vital times to listen. Listen to your thoughts, listen to what's going on in your mind. And if it's negative, you need to interrupt it and disrupt it. If it's positive, hang on to those thoughts and celebrate them. Again, dream time. Keeping ourselves creative. The world works on symbolism. Look at all the major brands. They've all got their symbols. Okay, moving along. We're now moving into the mental. What would be the best mental practice for us, please, Spirit? Considering The Queen of Wands for our mental space. The Dreaming Lizard for our heart space. What is our best mental practice, please, Spirit? For these current times, for these current energies. The best mental practice that's going to keep us steady. Or the mental practice that's going to help us challenge any negative thoughts, any victim mindset, any judgments or criticisms, discontentment. What's stopping you? Which goes really well with the Queen of Wands, because she's that fiery energy. She's that creative energy. If you're a creative and you're not being creative, that energy will turn in on itself. It's really important that if you're a creative, is get creative. Doesn't matter if no one else sees it. It's for you. It's for you to express your energy. So the best mental practice is what's stopping you. Difficulties are just things to overcome after all. Replacing I can't with perhaps I can is one way of clearing the mental blocks that are holding you back. Write down 5 things that you think you can't do, along with the reasons why. Now rewrite the list, swapping the negative words for positive ones. For example, I can't apply for that job because I don't meet all the criteria. It should become, I can apply for that job because I have most of the skills they ask for. Read through the positive list, ideally out loud, and see how it feels. And I would challenge this as well. It's like, you've got to get realistic. Seriously, I'm not going to be an astronaut. I haven't gone through the training, so it's like, I can't be an astronaut. And if there is a job that you don't meet the criteria, you've got to accept that as well. It's like, yes, you can turn it into a positive, but in reality, in the truth of it, you don't have the criteria, you don't have the skills, the crafts to meet what they're asking for, then I wouldn't apply for it. I would apply for something that matches your skill set. Or if you want to go beyond your comfort zone and level up, then go and get some training, go and do something that helps support you walking towards that what you want. And that's what's stopping you. If there is something like, if you want to be a pilot, well, you've got to start somewhere. Say if you even just want to do a bungee jump, well, you've got to start somewhere. And if you've got fear of heights, it's like, start meeting those fears so that you can experience it. You want to get skilled in something, you've got to start at the beginning. Every great master started out as a novice, all of us. So there's nothing stopping us but ourselves. So challenging those thoughts, because difficulties are things to overcome after all. Thank you, Spirit. Please and thank you. What is the best meditation practice for us to implement? The best meditation practice for us to implement as we sit quietly in our reflective time. What would be the best thing to mull over, think about, meditate upon? Cards don't seem very friendly today. Not sure what's going on. Starseed, what lights you up? Are you the creative? What's stopping you? Listen to your dreams. What lights you up? Thank you, Spirit. So this in our meditation would be to get into a really quiet spot so that you can be still and quiet, and then just allow your mind to think about what lights you up. Have a think about that. What could the possibilities be? Go through a list and see which one actually feels good while you're in a meditative state. If you are dimming your light to fit in, it's time that you stop and start embracing the unique light that you came here to share, and treat your time on earth like a glorious vacation, because it really is. We're not here forever. We're here for a very short time. How are you living it? Live with what lights you up. In your meditation, ask, please Spirit, please guides, please my higher self. Even ask your ancestors. Give me a hint, give me a clue. Which direction do I start? What lights me up? And you know already. You know by your own interests. You know by your own likes. What you're drawn to in art, what you're drawn to in music, what you're drawn to in clothes, what you're drawn to express. What lights you up? Thank you, Spirit. That was quick. I haven't even asked the question. So with this deck, we ask, what's the best Dharma practice? Well, this is our internal practice. This will be our external practice. Please, Spirit, what is the best Dharma for us to practice? I have a feeling things are going to change. Thank you. Karmic relationships. That's our Dharmic practice. Orion energy. That's interesting. Fascinating. Polarity, soul growth, conflict. Our Dharma practice. This will be interesting. There's a lot going on in the cosmos with different planets changing signs and full moon in Capricorn and just all sorts of things happening out there. And I guess it's going to be on, planets do influence. They don't control us, but they certainly do influence us. So it's like getting familiar with the astrology in your chart and what's going on can also give you a really good heads up as to what's going on. And I just had this feeling that things are shifting and changing, not necessarily in a bad way. Again, it comes down to the void and how do we face the void and what threads do we weave from the chaos. The constellation Orion is thought by many to have been a place of great polarity and eventual unity. Some believe that many starseeds who are part of this cosmic history are incarnate on Earth now and are playing out karmic relationships from Orion times. Perhaps you're one of them. Polarity causes conflict and highlights separation. However, because of this, conflict can also result in unity and growth. It's all how you deal with conflict, really. Too many misunderstandings are caused when we don't open our heart and mind and see things from a different point of view. And they're not asking you to adopt it, they're just asking you to see things from a different point of view. And the only way we can keep our hearts open is by having boundaries, because unconditional love does not mean unconditional tolerance. And polarity, I've had a thought about this. The universal principle, if you look up the Kybalion, one of the universal principles is the principle of polarity, which means hot and cold are the same bandwidth, it's just varying degrees apart. And I applied the polarity principle to humanity, and humanity ranges from saint to sinner, sinner to saint. You'll never convince a sinner to become a saint, and you'll never convince a saint to commit a sin. That's just the way humanity across the board, with all the varying degrees in between. That's polarity. It's like, how do we then accept that that always has been the case, it is the case now, and will always be the case going forward, that those that resonate on the sin end of the bandwidth tend to turn out to be criminals and sociopaths and psychopaths and etc., etc. It's like learning to accept that that's always going to be a part of our humanity. How then do we deal with it differently? How do we learn to live in harmony with ourselves? Because if we say, you've got to be yourself, that's your birthright, to be yourself. Well, that means so do those that are on the sin end of the spectrum have a right to be themselves. And this is why I guess we have laws, because there are those out there that don't care if they hurt people, maim people, cause harm, disharmony, genocide. That's why we do have laws, because those on that end don't give a shit. And us on the other end, we do give a shit. So that can cause conflict. But when you accept that that's just the bandwidth of humanity, and we cannot change other people, we can only change ourselves. And again, those that tend to be on the sinner end of the aspect, they don't want to change. And neither do the ones on the saint end of the spectrum don't want to change. It's the same law applies across the board. So now, how do we accept that? It's like learning to accept people for where they're at, and then it's up to you to put your boundaries in place, who you give your energy to, who you give your time and thoughts to. That's on you. So if you keep putting yourself in harm's way with the sinner end of the spectrum, well, that's all you're going to experience. But sometimes we've got to put those boundaries up so we can keep our heart open to humanity and realize this is the case. I'm just going to get about my own business. It might stop a lot of conflicts. How can you soften your heart and drop your defenses enough to see things from a different point of view? This is our Dharma practice. Out in the everyday, mundane world, keeping this in mind, how can you soften your heart and drop your defenses enough to see things from a different point of view? How can you see the innocence of all involved? And that can be tricky because not everybody is innocent all the time. Some people do have ill intentions or ill-conceived intentions, not realizing that they're based from a negative intent, because not everybody's aware. But how can you learn to see the similarities rather than the differences? So our Dharma practice is, how can you soften your heart and drop your defenses enough to see things from a different point of view? By having boundaries, having an open mind. Again, doesn't mean you need to adopt someone else's point of view, but it's being able to sit there and see it from another point of view and go, ah, that's where you're coming from. Well, this is where I'm coming from. It may help to dissipate any conflict. Interesting. Thank you, Spirit. With this deck, we ask, what is the best attitude then to embody? What's going to help us in attitude? Please, Spirit. Trust. That's a big one. Well, it's like you don't necessarily have to trust outside of you, but learning to trust yourself is so important, because that's what self-trust is built on, is having this enough self-respect to back your boundaries, having enough self-respect to know what's right for you and what's right for you. And when you start acting from that place, your trust amplifies. And when your self-trust amplifies, so does your self-confidence. All goes hand in hand. So the attitude, trust in the wisdom of your heart. In truth, will it guide you always. Trust yourself, dear soul, and trust your heart's compass to steer you in the direction most aligned with your truth. It is this path that will allow you to progress and open doors to opportunities, creativity, Queen of Wands, clarity, what's stopping you, and guidance, the lizard, your dreams. Harmonizing your vibration, you naturally open up to the higher frequencies of love. You are a magnificent, empowering soul. Remember always, dear one, that all the guidance you could ever need lives within you. Stay true to your principles and always trust your inner guidance. This is the attitude to adopt. Thank you, Spirit. Or to embody. With this deck, we ask Spirit, what's the best approach? What is the best approach then for us to adopt? With all this so far, with what's going on, what is our best approach? To shine. That is so beautiful. Trusting yourself. Build your self-confidence. That naturally makes you shine. you know, people with healthy self-confidence, they're just light in energy, and you know those that aren't, that are needy, that need that reassurance, people pleasers. It's just got a completely constricted energy to it. So shine, dear ones, shine. That is the approach. Don't dim to fit in. Shine, for you not only light your path, but the path of others around you. If you have selected this card, Spirit encourages you to shine your extraordinary, radiant light. Just by following your heart and doing what you love best, Queen of Wands, what lights you up, you will assist humanity in raising its planetary light. The more you harmonize yourself, the more you help the collective harmonize and settle down. A strong current is propelling you forward in a positive direction, steered by the heart. A path that is driven by the heart is a soul that is limitless and fruitful. Have fun during this wonderful time and express your beautiful soul for the world to see. You deserve it. And like I said, the only way you really truly get to shine is by backing your boundaries, is by loving yourself, being kind to yourself. Stop the negative self-talk. It's not going to help. Never helps. Never has, never will. Thank you, Spirit. What is the best healing code to utilize then, Spirit? During these coming times, what can we do for healing? Please and thank you, Spirit. What can we do for healing? One fell out. We'll take that one. Sincere relationships, and that is so true. Sincere relationships. And you really get to sincere relationships by following yourself, by having boundaries, by shining your own radiant light, by you being true to yourself. That sends a signal out, and those that resonate will be able to find you. If you're not yourself, if you mask yourself, you hide yourself, you're a people pleaser, you're agreeable all the time because you want to fit in, that's not going to bring about sincere relationships, because you're not attracting people to the true you. Once you start to be the true you, those that don't resonate with that will fall away. And that can be a tricky time. That can be a painful period. But allowing that to happen, again, coming back to your boundaries, coming back to that self-trust, looking to what lights you up, will take you out into the world so that you do find those of the same light. Sincere relationships is the healing code. Don't just hang out with people because they can give you something, because they say the right things. Nothing frustrates me further. In the card, 2 nature pixies hug as they look out over a beautiful landscape that is both snowy and filled with flowers. Strong relationships are not seasonable or available only when it's convenient. When you are in an ideal relationship or ideal relationships, you can find the beauty, grace and charm of the people you are with. The butterflies fluttering around the flowers indicate you're more than capable of making the changes needed to create loving and positive relationships. The flowers represent blessings, protection, and potential growth for all involved. The bird is a messenger. There is a situation before you that needs to be met head on. You deserve to have relationships that are loving and supportive of you. Having sincere, optimal relationships will be so much healthier for you in the long run. So, there is a situation before you that needs to be met head on. Sincere relationships is the answer. If it's not sincere, don't judge it, don't criticize it, don't blame the other person. See it for what it is. Thank you very much. And just back away and turn where focus goes. So turn your focus towards that which lights you up, that which creates self-trust, then you'll start. You've got to have that sincere relationship with yourself before you can have a healthy, sincere relationship with another. Thank you, Spirit. Strong cards this time round. I guess that's because all the changes that are going on in the world. What's next? Well, with this card, with this deck, I should say, we ask, what is the best spell to cast? What is the best prayer to chant? What is the best affirmation to speak? But I like, what is the best spell to cast? Because spells to me are prayers. Spells to me are magic. Spells are just a focused intention. That's all it is. Weaving the magic together in intense intention. Focused intention. So please, Spirit, what is, over the flame, thank you, what is the best spell to cast? I trust the card you will gift us as to what is the best spell to cast. Study, number 36. We've gotten 2 36s and 2 29s. That's very interesting. So study. Let my mind be clear and strong. Let me study well and long. And this is how we do get clear. Let my mind be clear and strong so that I may know what lights me up, challenge that which stops me, allow my creative force to flow, and I'm going to study my dreams. Maybe that's the study you need to do. At the moment, I'm studying silvotherapy, which I'm so loving because it's incorporating my forest experiences with the trees and the energy and the animals into something I can help other people with. But with this spell, the universe would very much like to help you with your focus, dedication, and with retaining vital information. The challenge with concentration is that we humans are quite able to distract ourselves. Don't let yourself be distracted at this moment. And this is where discipline comes in. And discipline is not punishment. Discipline is how do you manage yourself to stay on track? That's really important. It's learning to set up your own boundaries for yourself, set up perimeters, set up structures, set up a disciplined practice. So whether it's an hour a day, you do some study, whether it's an hour a day, you do meditation, whether it's an hour a day, you go walking. It's like, how do you maintain, even when you don't feel like it? Because that's really important. Discipline is the most vital, is when you don't feel like doing it. But instead of giving in to those negative thoughts that make you want to break that, is that discipline is like, just get up and do it. That's how a lot of successful people get to where they are, is by knowing the discipline that works for them to keep on track. Suddenly, when we know we have something that must be done, we are amazingly good at discovering all sorts of other things that absolutely must be done. And the best time is if you find yourself and that's happening, is like, don't get hard on yourself, don't get negative on yourself, laugh at yourself, recognize what you're doing, go, okay, well, we're going to stop that now and we're going to get back to what we've got to do. And it's like parenting yourself, really. It's what we need to be doing. If you have chosen this spell, you know that you're required to focus. The time is coming when you will be put to some kind of test, and you will, with the help of this spell, make the very most of the hours that remain to you. Cast this spell and know that once done, concentration and study time will be welcomed and cherished. Let my mind be clear and strong. Let me study well and long. Beautiful. The universe is supporting you. You are a student of life, and now you are focused on the task before you. Interesting. I had a thought to, not so much for study, but to look more deeply into the Asperger's experience. Because that seems to be what's happening for me in my world at this moment. Thank you, Spirit. So maybe that's a sign for me to do that study. Thank you, Spirit. With this deck, this animal magic deck, we ask, what is the best animal spirit to work with for guidance, please? What animal spirit at this time is best for guidance? Bull. Oh, I like it. Some countries, bulls are very revered. Love my language. So bull. And the key word for bull is fertility. Comes back to that creativity. So bull helps you with your strength of character. You could, again, strong. It brings the ability to sustain willpower, our discipline, study, endurance, staying power, and to complete projects at hand. Bull also enhances the more nurturing and healing qualities of power. It helps you perfect and embody more of the feminine principle so you can maintain your power and also heal weaknesses related to wounding around power. For women, this means learning to own your power more and becoming emotionally stronger, applying that discipline, stop that negative talk, but rather be that supportive talk to yourself. How else do we instigate change? We've got to challenge what we're doing. We've got to challenge what we're thinking. How do we do that? We've got to disrupt it and interrupt it and train our mind to go towards that which we want to think and do and be and live. It supports the development of your natural counselling skills or abilities, so you have the knowledge to support others. You may also be beginning to resonate more with the energies and qualities of the moon. And Mondays are Moon Day. Hence, I've got my moon rings on. And you could also be trying to conceive a child. That's that creative energy, the fertility. By choosing this card today, you are opening up to developing a more nurturing aspect of yourself. And Bull is going to help you do that. That is our animal guidance. Again, it comes back to that softening. Thank you, Spirit. With the last cards, we ask, and these are our crystal ally cards. So we ask, what is the best crystal ally for ease and grace to work with, please, Spirit? The best crystal ally to work with. Or it could be an element. Last reading we got fire. So what crystal or element for ease and grace, please, Spirit, should we be working with now? Fluorite. Self-discipline. Okay. Something to be said for discipline and self-discipline. Focusing your time and energy onto opening your heart to create those sincere relationships, not karmic relationships. Trusting yourself to shine. What lights you up will make you shine. Interesting reading. I love it. Fluorite. Self-discipline. Is a wind element. 2, 3, 1. It's funny, so some books, they're indexed. They don't put it in alphabetical order, so you can look all over the place. Anyway, fluorite, the message, the crystal to work with. You're being asked to review your current practices and lifestyle. What's stopping you? That creative energy of the Queen of Wands, that spark, your dreams. What's lighting you up? You're being asked to review your current practices and lifestyle. Fluorite may be calling you to make changes in your life. This could mean organizing your life more efficiently, making necessary changes in your habits, or applying yourself to your path more fully. We in the forefront of the age of light on earth are being called upon to organize and apply in our lives those bits of knowledge and understanding with which our journey has supplied us. If you feel as though you have not applied this knowledge in your life, Fluoride is asking you to make this necessary adjustments. Self-discipline means living the life you espouse, or in other words, to walk your talk. If you have strayed from the path that you know you should be on, you're now being called upon to step back in line with Spirit. Open yourself to the frequency of Fluoride and allow yourself to begin to vibrate with the energies of self-discipline and action. What a perfect way to finish the reading. Love it. So as to me, it's like that's who we are at the moment. The Queen of Wands, being the Queen of Wands, doesn't matter what gender you are. The Queen of Wands is that creative, open, generous, alive energy. The dreaming energy is going to help us get clear on what lights us up in our meditations. What's stopping you? Face it, challenge it. Understand conflict and polarity so that we can know what lights us up and be able to see what's lighting someone else up. It doesn't mean we have to take it on board, agree, approve, acknowledge. Well, maybe acknowledge, but not embody. That's the difference. Learning to trust yourself will help you shine more. Your self-discipline is what's really being called into action now, where focus goes, energy flows, reality grows, results show. So heading into the next few weeks, taking that energy on board to create that beautiful, harmonious bubble around you. I hope this helps. Aho, amen, so mote it be.